Hi, my name is Sue Price and I'm the manager in T Hapus Family Centre in Carmarthen. T Hapus is based on the Park Hall and Llandovery estate and is classed as one of the areas of high deprivation in Carmarthen. We have a flying start creche in the mornings and we have various drop-in sessions in the afternoon. We also have after-school clubs, a Saturday group and various drop-in sessions. We deliver courses in the family centre and it's open to everybody.
My name is Anthony Dragoni. I'm Deputy Manager at T Hapus Family Centre and I'm funded by the RCI. The project that we asked RDP for the funding for was the 11 to 16-year-old group regarding ADHD children. We found that working around wood and carpentry skills with children with ADHD calmed them down. So we put that into a funding bid. And as you can see with us, we've got all our tools that the children use. And we have got video evidence to show that, you know, regarding their skills and things, they do calm themselves down. It's great for the dads and the children to have relationships together and working towards long-term relationships as well. I think the difference has been, obviously, which I mentioned, the dad, sons and daughters relationships, learning new skills, i.e. maths, carpentry skills, all different things that they don't do in day-to-day in school. For me, is job satisfaction when they leave here is when they're smiling and going home to show things they've done to their mother and things.
Since applying for your grant and other grants that we apply for, my main suggestion is to allow plenty of time. Make sure you know what you're asking for. Get help from any members of staff, any committees, take suggestions from the community, because obviously if you're delivering a service in the community, it's very important that you have activities that they want you to deliver rather than what you think they want you to deliver.
Hi, my name is Maria Evans and I'm a Community Engagement Officer working for the Housing Services Department, part of Carmarthen County Council, and as part of my job I work closely with the Myrddin Tenant network. So most recently we've been fortunate to have further funding from RCI, another part of RDP, which has enabled us to buy a lot of capital goods, which will further develop the time credit project. So for example, we've had recently purchased 13 iPads, which will be used as an earn part of the time credits project. And another aspect of the grant was the purchase of a few 6-berth tents, which members can hire through time credits as well. So they can go to the likes of Kiln Park in Tenby, which also take time credits, so that will save them a fortune in having to spend money on a holiday. They have it all paid for by time credits. So hopefully that'll make a big difference to our communities.
Hi, I'm Shirley Corcoran. I'm a member of the Myrddin Tenant Network Group. I've been a member now for many years, too many to mention, and I'm pleased to say that I was actually involved from the beginning of the time credit project. Time banking is brilliant in Carmarthen. It took a long time to get up and running, but now it is up and running. Carmarthen because Carmarthen was the first group then to have it, and it did take a while to spread out, but now it has. Most of the people now are actually realising what benefits there is to time banking. And you know, you get something back for putting something in, which is brilliant.
So I would definitely encourage people to apply for this grant, because in comparison to the grants, it's relatively easy to access. You've got a lot of support from the RDP grants officers. They're at the end of the phone all the time, or they'll answer your emails quite quickly to help you and support you. So yes, it's something I would definitely recommend other members of the public and organisations to apply for.
Helo, Nick Thomas ydw i. Fi yw hyfforddiag ieuenctid tîm rwyfo yng Nghlwb Cychod y Tywi ger Llanseffan. Clwb Cychod yn un benodol, mae dyn ni wahanol cychod yma, cychod engen, cychod hwylio ac nawr yn fwy ddiweddar cychod rwyfo. Wel, o'n i eisiau datblygu rwyfo yn y clwb, a o'n i angen cychod iol, morol, sydd â seddi sy'n symud yn hytrach na seddi sefydlog fel oedd dan ni'n blaenorol. Wel, trwy defnyddio grant RCI, wnaethon ni rhoi cais mewn i cael cychod morol sydd â seddi sy'n symud yn hytrach na'r seddi sefydlog fel oedd dan ni yn blaenorol. So mae mwy o aelodau, mwy o bobl wedi ymaelodi gyda'r clwb. I ni hefyd wedi gallu canolbwyntio ar arddull trwy rwyfo, mae wedi gwella fel i ni wedi rwyfo. Wel, pe bai rhywun eisiau ymgeisio am grant, fydden ni'n awgrymu bod dan nhw darlun clir ynglyn beth o'n nhw angen wneud o'r rhan datblygiad yn ei sefydliad.
My name's Richard Mead. I'm a project officer and I'm a committee member on the Llansteffan Sports Club Limited. The sports club is a company, a not-for-profit company and a charity, and its main purpose is to run the recreation facilities within the village of Llansteffan. We introduced over the years, in a ad hoc way, various fitness equipment which came from a variety of sources, mainly second-hand and mainly from domestic houses. These over the years became not fit for purpose, and the members of the fitness suite users were basically obviously wanting to take advantage of the more modern equipment, which is increasingly becoming more and more sophisticated, and they were going to Carmarthen and Leisure Centre, St Clair's Leisure Centre. Well, as you can see, we have got the nearly £25,000 worth of modern equipment. You do need a project officer. You need somebody who is just dedicated to getting the grant sorted out, to answering questions from the grant givers, the grant organisers, and dealing with that. It's no good having 3 or 4 or a committee doing it. You have to have one dedicated person. But having said that, all the grants, this particular grant has been excellent because at the end of the phone there's always been a grant officer to deal with that. Don't give in, because at the end of the 9 months you've got what you want for 5-10 years.
My name is Peter Smith. I'm the chairman of Plant and Nant, which is Abernant Primary School's after-school club. Well, we started the after-school club about 3 years ago now, and we sort of highlighted the fact that parents wanted to send their children to Abernant School, and there was no facility in some cases for childcare after the school had finished. So we set up the after-school club and train staff then to look after the children, to provide facilities for the kids in the 2 hours which they operate between 3:30 and 5:30, 5 days a week if required. During the discussions of the where to site the after school club, etc., I was made aware that there was grants available from RCI, and so we put together a business plan to renovate what was in theory the redundant porta cabin which we have behind us. That was not fit really for teaching use or in its present state for any kind of use, purely as a storage area. So we highlighted the fact that that would be an ideal premises for the club. We set about drawing up a plan of what was required to do it up, to renovate it, new roof, new windows, new cladding on the outside, totally refurbish the interior. And I put together a business plan which we submitted to RCI, and we were lucky enough to obtain that grant. And we've ended up with a completely renovated after school club premises, which has suited our needs down to the ground. It's been absolutely fantastic.
Enw yw Elen a dwi'n disgybl yn ysgol yn Nant. Y peth dwi'n hoffi yn y clwb Nant yn Nant, sut ti'n eistedd yna bod ti'n gwneud llawer o pethau. Nawr ni'n defnyddio'r caban a mae llawer fel mwy o fel lle gyda ni fel weithiau. Fel mae gyda ni fel fridge yna sy'n ni'n cael iwso fel. Achos mae da ni cwpwr so fyna, ni'n cadw pethau plant yn Nant mewn a, yeah.
After applying for the grant, I would say that you've got to be committed to what you're going to achieve. It's got to be fundamentally possible. You've got to have good support of the parents and obviously the headmaster in our particular case. That's very important. It is a lot of work, but certainly, as we see every day in the after school club now, it is worthwhile, and the success story is there to be seen, to be honest.
Hi, my name is Llanddowror. I am chairman of the Red Roses Over 50s Club, which is a very successful body, which is now a branch of this association.
My name's Lynn Wheeler, and I came to Englishcombe Community Association as a helper in the kitchen. Having a catering background helped, and we realised that with this kitchen, the way it was designed then, we would need to expand and change the kitchen. We approached RCI and very luckily got really good funding, which helped us to expand the kitchen, change it round, mean we could cook more lunches. We then thought, as we'd made such a success of it, we needed to expand the hall too. So the further project was to make the hall bigger, be able to seat more people. Everyone comes because they like the lunches. It's made it very good for the environment, for the local people to come and have a chat. They treat it more as a club than a lunch club. Lunches are served at 12:30, but they tend to come from 11:30 because it means they can catch up with their news and everything. The good thing about the hall is now that we have the extra space, we will be able to have bigger classes of all the different things that run through our hall. We're very lucky. We have a quilting group, we have a sewing group, we have an art class. We have a new project starting within the next few weeks of a very good table tennis club. We've got all the things that the man needs to come in and teach the youngsters from the local school. I think we only had a Monday that was free, and now that we have our table tennis club, we are very, very busy. So it's a really good place to come and meet. We have a salsa class that is very popular. So we try to do different things. We try to meet all different areas for the community, and I think at the moment we're doing very well.
My name is Jean Corey and I'm the clerk of Llanddowror and Llanmilo Community Council. There are in the two villages approximately 680 electors in the whole parish, with just over 300 of these in Llanddowror itself. The Community Council uses the precept to provide services such as street lighting, and it also uses what's left to enhance the community life wherever possible. The project for which we required funding was the provision of a community meeting room for Llanddowror, which included capital building works and revenue costs. For example, to purchase a new kitchen equipment, IT equipment and furniture to equip the new room. The funding that we had to provide this amenity has not only resulted in a physical improvement to the village, but it now provides a very much needed meeting place for the residents. For any organisations who wish to apply for grant funding, my advice would be this. This was my first experience of applying for grant funding, and the support from the RDP, Carmarthen County Council officials, the officers, has been admirable. Be prepared to generate a great deal of paperwork. That's an enormous task. To ensure that you've got sufficient funds in your organisation to cover any unexpected costs, particularly if the grant funding is retrospective. And thirdly, don't be afraid to ask for advice.
My name is Jules Weston. I'm the project manager for Llandovery Heritage Charity in Llandovery. How our project came about was we received some funding from innovative communities to look at a feasibility study for the Llandovery Heritage Centre and Tourist Information Centre. The feasibility study came up with 3 options, and the local community and the town council voted on the 3rd option to go forward, which was to develop a business hub in the Llandovery Heritage Centre.
What we are is a co-working space where freelance people and small start-up businesses can come and hire desk space and work in a creative and innovative space. My post is funded by RCI, and my post is as project manager for Llandovery Hub and for Llandovery Heritage Charity. And with IC, our funding was to install a partition and create a private meeting space for Llandovery Hub. The funding has made a huge difference to our organisation. Without it, we couldn't really have carried on, to be honest. In terms of funding my post was about developing the skills and capacity of the town council to develop a large-scale heritage project for Llandovery, and also to manage the Llandovery Hub and create a sustainable business here. With the funding for the partition and creation of a private meeting space, that was something that was asked for from all the Llandovery Hub users in terms of freelancers and small start-up businesses needing a private meeting space where they could discuss confidential business information with their clients. So both funding has made a tremendous difference towards the sustainability of our organisation and our business. Prepare, 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 and also to talk to other people, talk to other organisations that have been for similar funding bids, and anybody that's actually working in the field of funding will be happy to share information and advice with you.
My name is Jill Wright. I'm a director of the Level Crossing Community Interest Company. We're located in Llandovery, right by the railway station, and right by the level crossing, hence the name. We are, as I say, a community interest company which took over this building, the lease of this building, to turn it into a hostel type place, to bring this place back into life again, really. With the RCI, we bought the kitchen, which is an up-to-date stainless steel kitchen that fulfills all the functions. The funding has made a huge difference to us. It made it possible in the first place. The owner of the building put in half the funding, and the rest of the funding came from various RDP grants, including the RCI. What I have learnt from my experience with grant funding is to, first of all, be patient. Secondly, to work with your officers who do know a lot about what is needed. And thirdly, be patient. Really, that is the main thing you have to bear in mind. Persistent and patient.
My name's Rosie Stanbridge and I work with the Old Mill Foundation, which is a holistic cancer support centre. And I work there with Sarah Clark, and Sarah Clark is the founder. She opened up the centre after she lost her husband to cancer in 2002. And she already had a little holistic therapy business going at that point. And when her husband Steve became ill, she saw how much the therapies helped him. And after he died, she thought, okay, I want to set this up as a charity and offer these treatments free of charge to people affected by cancer. So we've been going now for 11 years, and holistic cancer support is really about offering complementary therapies to people. We found that the original centre at Penclouth had been so successful, but we realised that there were people who were coming from quite a long way away, from rural Carmarthenshire. And we thought that it would be a really great idea to set up an outreach project. And it's been a roaring success, and we're still going. So even after the funding's finished, we're managing to keep it going. And it's proving to be very popular.
Well, I found out about the Mill up in the Heath in Cardiff. I would like to say that the Mill has offered a lot of support to me. In hospitals, they tend not just to give you medication and fix your actual illness, and the Mill has worked very close with me with doing complementary medicines, homeopathic medicines, which have benefited me more than medication. A lot of their treatments like reflexology, massage, Reiki, which I find really beneficial to me. It tends to make what I'm going through at the moment very bearable. It's nice to actually talk to people who are going through similar things as me, have the same side effects, reassuring me that things will get better, because unfortunately when you're in hospital you generally see the worst, not the best. So the treatments they provide you I find really beneficial. I quite look forward to coming here once a week. Even if I just have a cup of tea and a chat, it just takes so much stress and relief off my shoulders. It's really amazing. Best place ever, and you should give more money.
Hazel Evans ydw i, cynghorydd dre Castell Newydd Emlyn. Mae'r cyngor y dre wedi bod yn bodolaeth ers 1985. Pan ni gath ei wneud yn cyngor dre, oedd e'n cyngor cymunedol cyn hynny. Yn lleoliad y cyngor yw yn neuadd Cawdor sy'n cael ei adnewyddu nawr. Ni wedi bod yno ers dechrau cyngor y dre. Gath yr adeilad i roi i'r dre. Rydym yn gwasanaethu dros 800 o drigolion y dre ac yn rhedeg cyfrifoldeb gyda ni rhedeg gwasanaethau'r dre.
My name's Maureen Webley. I've been on Newcastle Emlyn Town Council for 10 years, and the start of this project really goes back to 2008 when I was mayor, and the project that I chose for that year was to do some renovation work on the clock tower. After we'd finished the clock tower renovation, we decided it would be really great if we could actually embark on a much larger project to renovate the whole of the Cawdor Hall. But obviously this was a much bigger deal, and we needed to sit down and plan very carefully what we were going to do and how we were going to get the finances to achieve that project.
Trwy'r nawdd RCI, mae'r Cyngor Tref Castell Newydd Emlyn wedi fy nghyflogi i, Emma James, sef y swyddog prosiect. Fy ngwaith i yw i gydlynu'r gwaith i gyd. Mae'r arian IC wedi talu am gwaith cyfalaf ar neuadd Cawdor, ac hefyd mae'n helpu i ddenu busnesau newydd i mewn a creu gofod lle mae'r gymuned yn mynd i fedru defnyddio ar gyfer y gymuned ac y gymuned yn ehangach. A drwy hynny fydd yn helpu wneud yr holl brosiect yn gynaladwy.
So I think to organise a big project, you need to have a very clear idea in your head what you want to do. Look at the building, look at how it can be utilised for the benefit of the community. And in this case, we had to go for a large grant because there was a large amount of work that needed doing. So big forms to fill in, you need a lot of patience, you need to read the specifications of the grant very carefully, and you have to be prepared for delays and questions and meetings and just take it step by step. But at the end of the day, it's really worthwhile if you can get that amount of funding and complete your project.
Cantref Housing Association is a social housing provider. We operate across a large geographical area ranging from Haverfordwest out to Llandovery and just short of North Wales. Our current housing stock is just short of 1,500 properties. The RCI money that we applied for was mainly due to be used for our money and employment advisor based more within the Carmarthenshire area. We employed 2 money and employment advisors, and a percentage of the work went down with the Carmarthenshire area. The majority of the work ranged around pre-tenancy visits. So for example, when someone's offered property with us, financial assessment will be carried out and detailed financials will be discussed. For example, if the incoming is only £70 a week and the property may cost them maybe over £100 a week, it's an opportunity for us to either maximise benefits that they maybe weren't aware of, or a decision made to whether to go with a tenancy or not. The difference of funding made has been huge. It's given us the opportunity for our money and employment advisors to go out, sit with individuals, look at things like applying for jobs online with this mobile office. Those that maybe don't have internet access at home, it's given the opportunity to sit down, help with CVs. We also work in conjunction with Want to Work and Careers Wales, who meet us out on site and sit on the bus, also advising some of our tenants or maybe just other people who are in the area to come along and enhance their opportunities for jobs. Any tips for any other organisations thinking of applying for grant funding? I think the top tip would be to prepare for quite a lot of an administration follow-up to it. That's an ongoing process throughout the funding period. It was a little bit of a shock to us, but we got there in the end. Even afterwards, there's still a lot of administration to be carried out to justify the funding and to find out exactly how it was used.
Croeso i Cylch Meithrin, Llansawel. Fi yw arweinyddes y Meithrin, Emma Davies. Fi'n gweithio gyda 2 staff arall, so mae 3 o staff bob dydd. Ni gyda 12 plant ar y foment. Ni gyda pwyllgor sy'n rhedeg y Meithrin gyda ni. Ni'n gwneud popeth yn Cymraeg a ni'n gwneud popeth trwy cyfnod sylfaen. A mae plant gallu chwarae yn rhydd yn y Meithrin. Cyn gael y grant, oedd dim lle i dod mas i chwarae, oedd dim lle saff i'r plant chwarae. ond achos o'ch chi gallu gweld nawr ar ôl gael y grant, nawr gyda rhywle saff i plant chwarae bob dydd, a mae lot o tegannau newydd hefyd i nhw chwarae gyda. Os bydd pobl yn meddwl mynd am grant, mae lot o gwaith yn mynd mewn i'r grant, ond bydd yn werth yn y diwedd, achos maen nhw'n trwy lot o cefnogaeth, ond bydd chi moyn lot o amser a pobl tu ôl chi fel staff arall neu pwyllgor, rhieni i helpu wneud popeth, achos mae lot i wneud yn mynd mewn i grant.
Jones ydw i, a dwi'n gweithio i swyddfa Llandysil ym Montweli ymlaen, sef swyddfa fenter yw i yn Llandysil. A mae'n cael ei rhedeg yna gyda grŵp o wirfoddolwyr. Mae 9 person dyn ni, person sy'n rhoi o'i hamser yn wirfoddol ac yn gweithio'n galed iawn i dral cadw pethau fynd yn Llandysil yma. Dolen Teifi yn un o'n prosiectau ni, a cychwynnon ni hwnnw rhyw 6 mlynedd nôl ar ôl wneud arolwg yn y gymuned i weld faint o beth o'n nhw yn awyddus i gael, a oedd diffyg trafnidiaeth yma, yn enwedig trafnidiaeth cyhoeddus. A dyna pam wnaethon ni benderfynu reit bod rhaid ni edrych mewn ymhellach i hwn. A gaethon ni un bus i ddechrau off prynu ar yr adeg i ni. A ni'n darparu trafnidiaeth i bobl fel grwpiau. Ni'n rhedeg o dan section 19. A mae dyn ni bus sydd yn gallu mynd â bobl anabl. A ni'n gwneud tipyn o waith i cartrefi henoed ac yn y blaen. A ni'n cyfro'r ardalodd o fewn rhyw 10 milltir i Llandysil, ddwy ochr erbyn hyn, Ceredigion a Sir Gyfyrddin, gan bod ni wedi cael yn lleoli reit ar y ffin. Wel, gan bod ni wedi bod yn canolbwyntio, fwya ar yr ochr Sir Ceredigion, ond ni'n awyddus iawn bod ni moyn mynd yn gros hefyd i Sir Gyfyrddin, achos o'n i'n gweld bod diffyg i gael fyny hefyd. Oedd bus wedi bod yn Llanybydder un adeg, ond nhw wedi colli hwnnw, a o'n nhw'n gweld iser bus, a nhw'n moyn treial wneud rhywbeth ychwanegol, a moyn treial cael bus ychwanegol o'r le arall. Ni wedi bod yn ffodus iawn i gael yr arian trwy'r cynllun datblygu gwledig Sir Gyfyrddin, i'n galluogi ni i ddatblygu'r rhagor o waith a ddatblygu'r buses yn Sir Gyfyrddin. Wel, ni wedi dysgu lot trwy wneud yr mentoring, trwy wneud yr prosiect hyn. Ond yr unig beth ni'n gweud, unrhyw un sydd yn mynd mewn amdano fe ac yn meddwl a beth ti'n gwneud rhywbeth yn debyg, mae rhaid nhw bod yn ymwybodol bod ddim wedi gymryd lot o'i hamser nhw, a hefyd bydde fe'n lot o help iddyn nhw i gael help rhywun sydd yn gyfarwydd yn wneud, sydd wedi bod trwy'r broses hyn o'r blaen, ac yn gwybod beth yw'r llanw'r ffurflenni a'r gwaith papur sydd ynglwm ag e. Ond ar ôl gweud hynny, ar y pen draw, mae fe siwr yn werth i fynd amdano.
Rhaid cynghorydd Ieuan Davies ydw i, wy'n byw yn Llanybydder eriod. Heddi ni yn ganolfan gymuned yr hen ysgol yn Llanybydder. Mae'r grŵp wedi lleiholi oddi ar 1995 pan brynon i'r ysgol trwy grantiau lleol, trwy help menter Sir Gaerfyrddin a cyngor Sir hefyd. Mae'r hen ysgol dan ni fan hyn. Dyw hwn ddim wedi cael ei wneud dim iddo fe yn y blynyddoedd ni wedi bod yma hyd nawr. Ond yr estyniad sydd ar yr adeilad, mae'r gym wedi bod dan ni fan hyn os rhyw 15 mlynedd nawr, a wrth gwrs dim ond trwy'r adeilad hyn wedi cael arian i fewn lan hyd yr amser hyn. Wel, yr RCI, mae'r arian wedi mynd ar y llawr waelod fan hyn. Mae gyda ni gym enwedig i'r menywod a i bobl anabl, a fydd y gym hyn iddyn nhw. Wel, arian IC wedi gwneud y llawr cyntaf ar y llofft fan hyn. Fydd cyfrodd y deiron a hefyd cwb y ieuenctid. Hefyd, y tu cefn i fi fan hyn, fydd y cawod a'r toiledau. Mae rhaid i chi wneud yn siŵr o flaen llaw bod chi'n wneud yr cynllunio ac hefyd bod yn borthnasol i beth i chi am wneud.